Hello and welcome back to the Princess Gay podcast show. Your host, Princess Kingsman. So, just to add to some of the conversations we had on my last video that I posted, so I'm going to be talking about the unseen enemy, okay? The enemy that you cannot see, okay? In the art of war, there is always an enemy, okay? We see physical enemies and we can fight physical enemies, okay? We can fight them, we can strategize and find a way to defeat our enemies, okay? And that's easier, okay? But what if you have to deal with an enemy that you are not aware about, an enemy that you are not sure about, okay? Just a second. What happens when you have to deal with someone like that, okay? Sorry, just a second. So when you have to deal with enemies that you cannot see, that's a different kind of battle. That's a complex one, actually. A lot of people just think it's as easy as, oh, I'm gonna go to, a witch doctor or uh, you know, someone who can tap into the veil, someone who can tap into the other side, and then they will just tell them who their hidden enemy is. It's more complex than that, okay? Because you do have hidden enemies that can be seen whenever you want to find out. It can be easy for you to see them in the spiritual when you know what you're doing. But there are other ones that do everything to make sure that they are not seen. Okay? There are other ones that will go above and beyond to make sure that you do not see them as an enemy. So they will cloak, they will glamorize themselves, they will do whatever the fuck they have to do to stay in the fucking shadow, and you will never know. Not unless um, the divine wants to show you. Okay? Not unless the divine wants to show you. You will never know. Because there are some people that, like I said, they have their own power, their own spiritual gifts, mostly power tapped from somewhere else, and they use that so that you'd never ever know that they are your enemy. And this is what we call craftiness. A lot of people are very crafty, very sneaky, sneakier than the average sneaky person. So at this level, for you to catch someone like that who, really, really wants to stay hidden so much, you would have to really tap into your intuition, and you would need to have an open dialogue between you and spirit, your spirit team, because then they will be able to tell you if they can trust you with that kind of information. Because the thing with spirits is they don't just share any information to just anyone anyhow. They have to be able to trust you, and they will test you to know what you're going to do with that kind of information. Are you going to use it for something selfish, something that will benefit you, or are you going to keep it to yourself? Can we trust you with more serious and in-depth secrets? That's why the universe and spirit do not reveal secrets to everybody. They don't give everybody power. Okay, because a lot of us humans, we misuse it every single time, like clockwork, without fail. Every lifetime, every decade, every millennium, we always misuse power. We have the wrong notion of power. Most of us are power drunk, power hungry. So most of them go and get that power from somewhere else. Some of them really go on a journey, either in the physical realm or in the spirit realm. They go on a journey to get that power. So majority of people, not all, okay, some are naturally powerful. Majority of people that walk this earth that are powerful, not just money wise, but in every other way. They have been places. They have walked some certain paths that they shouldn't have. I'm not judging, but what is wrong is wrong, because all of that has heavy, intense, severe consequences which they would not know about. So, spirits would not reveal things to you if you can't be trustworthy to be able to handle that information. Okay? So, an unseen enemy it was just revealed to me a couple of years ago. I did not know my whole life. So, unseen enemy are very, very hard to detect unless you go with your instincts. An unseen enemy usually have a pattern. They usually have a pattern, and your instincts will show you their patterns so you can be able to pick up. And there will be a lot of illusions, because obviously, bear in mind, this unseen enemy does not want you to know. Okay? They don't want you to know that they exist. They don't want you to know that they even hate you. They don't want you to know that they even hold a single grudge against you. They want to show you that they love you so much. So, we all have power, okay? We just have different ways of how we use that power. Everybody wants power in some way, shape, or form. Some are power hungry. Those are the dangerous ones. The ones that just want power for themselves and not to use it for selfish interest or to destroy anybody or to oppress anyone. Yeah, those are the ones that I can say that, yeah, because I'm one of those people. I never believed that I had power my whole life because of the kind of upbringing I have or I had. So it was very hard to see the unseen enemy, because the people that I grew up with, every single one of them was an unseen enemy. And I had no idea. I had no idea. They were there, unseen, just there. So, at the end of the day, when I found out who the real enemy was, yeah, I was shocked, sent into um, a world of pain, of shock and confusion, and reanalyzing every bit of my childhood, every bit of my life. So what I'm saying here is that unseen enemy is harder to detect than the enemies that you have in the background, that if you do a little bit of research and work, and you can find out, I'm talking in the spirit, you can find out who this enemy is. But when we're talking about hidden, unseen enemy, now that one is another. And especially if they have the power to keep them. Like, one of my unseen enemies, I'll make an example of this. One of my unseen enemies was my own adopted mom. Okay, I'm not going to talk too much about that because I have forgiven her. I've moved on. The damage has been done. The damage is there. The pain will always be there. The The damage has already been done. Okay. So when I found that out, yeah, that that hit me pretty hard. I can say harder than anything. Okay. Um, so, and since then, like I said, I've always just she's the last person I can ever trust. Okay. So, but that happened, and yeah, like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it, but I hold no resentment against her. I hold no unforgiveness. I hold no um, I hold no resentment against her. I will always love her. Love is not something that I can just switch off. It's not a switch. It doesn't have a switch. So I will always love her even in death. Okay, it is officially 1 year since she's passed on. This year in March, it's officially 1 year. So, yeah. Unseen enemy, you because I was clouded by my emotions and my childhood trauma and everything that I've been through. I was crowded by it, blocked by it to be able to know who actually loved me and who resented me and wanted me out of here. Okay, so like I said, you have to go with your instincts and you also have to, pray, cast a spell, set your intentions, manifest. Okay, different ways of looking at it. You have to go with your gut because everything has a pattern. Even if something is so unseen and so hidden, it has a pattern. You just have to, even if the pattern is hidden as well, because these are crafty people at times. You figure it out eventually. As long as you're a type of person that knows how to listen to your intuition, because like I said, you will make a mistake before you get it right. Um, so, yeah. So that's what I want to talk about today, that everybody has a hidden enemy. Everyone has an unseen enemy. I cannot express this enough. You don't have to hurt someone for them to be your enemy. You don't have to start a fight with them for them to be your enemy. You don't have to have a beef with them to be your enemy. Literally, anyone that you did not even start anything with can be your enemy. They are the only reason, they are the only ones that know why they made themselves your enemy. So, everyone has a hidden, unseen enemy. You just have to find out who is your own before they destroy you without you realizing. And that could be physically, that could be spiritually. Yeah. So you gotta watch out for the hidden enemies, not the ones that show you how they feel about you. No, those ones are good. At least you know who you're dealing with. We're talking about people who are very, very, very sneaky, very sly, very vindictive and manipulative, illusion, very good at pretending, very good at acting. So you gotta watch out for those ones because those ones are the tricky ones. It's the quiet ones, the silent ones, the ones that pretend. Yeah. And how will you know they're pretending? Yeah, like I said, intuition, you figure it out. So it's crazy. But yeah. So watch out for unseen enemy, hidden enemy. Watch out for them because everybody has one. Okay. So thank you so much for listening. I love you guys so much, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell so you can get notifications when I post. Have a wonderful day, and I love you always.